Avatar came out on December 18th, 2009, and made over 2.8 billion in theater sales. That was not counting a single bit of physical media sales, digital sales, or any type of streaming sales that has made sense then. Which means that Avatar 2 already has a very big hill to climb with meeting the expectations of being better than the first one. And my main concern for Avatar: The Way of Water is managing people's expectations. And I'd like to explain why. Back in 2010, this movie released out on disc. And I watched it late at night with my dad. He passed out within the first hour. But I watched the full 3 hours of the film, and I was stuck in a trance. It was so new and refreshing to me as a 5-year-old that has never really seen anything like this, and still to this day can't really match a fictional world and make it look so good as Avatar did within its first try. But you gotta think, the 2.8 billion in theater sales were definitely either teenagers or just adults going to see this. That's not counting the young kids that probably didn't see this until a home release. And a lot of kids like me, we never saw a trailer for it or never heard a single bit about this movie on the news. It was just sent to us by God and plopped in our laps, and we all graciously accepted it. Because it was so new and refreshing to so many eyes that it built up a reputation for being unique. However, 13 years later, we are getting 2 trailers for this film, Avatar: The Way of Water, as well as some news surrounding this movie, like its main cast and a bit of the storyline, and with what kind of visual depth we will be getting in this film. However, with the amount of tension this movie is getting, and so fast, it is going to have troubles managing expectations. Now, every movie is going to go through that. However, with a movie this big, that I hope is going to be bigger than Infinity War and Endgame were, and even the first one was, it's going to have competition with its own fans because of what's happening. And what is happening? The fans, like me, are seeing the visuals, we're seeing the type of setting most of the movie's probably going to take place in, which is going to be around the water or in the water, as well as seeing that pretty much the entire cast of the original Avatar movie, whether they died or didn't, in the first Avatar, is going to be back in Avatar 2: The Way of Water. Now, how they're going to explain that, I really don't know. Actors and actresses like Sigourney Weaver and Stephen Lang, who played the Colonel, are going to be back in this movie in some way, shape, or form. Now, we have seen from the trailers that the Colonel is going to be back, but in Avatar form. Now, this worries me because it's going to make the first one not be as heavy in tone and in meaning. Because like the Colonel says in the first one, nothing's over while I'm breathing. So Jake had to kill him because he was never going to stop coming after him. Now, if they're going to make him the good guy, I don't know how that's going to go. And if he's still going to be the bad guy, I don't know how that's going to go and sit with audiences. But I can tell you one thing. The fact that they are bringing characters from the first one back, which I'm sure they're going to explain why and how they are back, but it's going to take away from the first one. Also, with seeing what we can expect from this movie already, just by the 2 trailers, what we've seen, like the visuals and the type of scenes we're going to get, as well as how there's going to be another war, and how there's going to be children involved that are going to be Jake's children and Neytiri's children, as well as the 2 new characters that I don't know their names of, but everybody loves them so far for some reason. As well as this new human joining the cast, which I don't know her name or her character whatsoever. Now, the reason why I don't know all these things about Avatar 2 and why I haven't done more research is because I don't want to know more about this film, and I think that's what's going to be damaging to this film. The more we see of who's going to be in it, and the type of music, the type of environments, all the characters that are going to be coming back, I don't think that audiences are going to be as immersed as they were in the first one. Especially people like me that grew up and just watched it blindly. I know that there's a number of people that I've talked to that feel underwhelmed by these trailers, and I am telling them not to watch the trailers anymore, as well as I am not going to, because when I see it, I want to be seeing it through fresh eyes, not seeing it through the trailer's eyes. There will be a lot of people attending this release, and I hope it does the best it can, and I hope it blows every other movie out of the water, no pun intended. All I hope is they stay true to the original fan base that felt emotion with every death and every triumph, instead of reimagining the story from the first one just for the excuse of making 4 sequels. I wish this movie the best, but just like everyone else, I am totally in for an Avatar 2 sequel, even though I used to shit on the idea of having 4 Avatar sequels 13 years after the first one came out. I'm totally here for it, and I am excited to see what happens, and you already know I'm going to be there lined up for them. Let's hope these movies are as original as the first one was and keeps the same magic alive. This has been AJ from AJ's Media Adventures, and thank you for watching. Peace out.